Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Princess of Discs. And let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And now if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It's free to subscribe. Okay. So we have this really interesting image of a tree here. We have somebody standing right at the top of it. Maybe somebody here. And it looks like some kind of animal, right? This here. It looks like, it almost reminds me of like a muskrat, right? With the little nose and the little hairy, face. Ooh, we also have a 23. We have 2 and a 3 right there. 23. So let's see. I'm just going to finish kind of turning this really quick. And then we'll get back to that side. Okay. All right. So we have the tree. We have this. The tree often, it absolutely symbolizes our life, right? And I feel like this kind of beautiful, it is, it looks like a very interesting kind of umbrella of a tree. I feel like you are living a life where you have your roots kind of planted. And I feel like you have set things up in such a way that you do have this kind of great shelter from the storms, right? And I think that you've been very thoughtful and meticulous about kind of how you envision your life being. Has it always worked out that way? No. We all have, things that don't really come to be in the waking life as we hope that they would. But I think for the most part, you have been able to build a very successful lifestyle. I think that and now I'm not just talking about monetarily. Maybe though, maybe you are making some good money. But I think really the big thing here, and I see this because I see the person standing up here looking into kind of the sky, and I almost imagine sitting up there kind of singing and praying and daydreaming and all of these kind of beautiful outputs of beauty and energies and sharing with that divine thing, that we kind of look to the sky for. And then we have the fish up there, which is abundance. And so I feel like there's an abundance of creativity here, an abundance of faith, an abundance of love for that kind of ineffable thing, that thing that you cannot describe in a way that even begins to make sense, right? It is just what it is. And I think that more than any other area in your life, you are very cultivated in those quiet places. You are somebody who has a rich interior world. I think that you are probably a fairly learned person, and maybe not even academically, but I think that you have continued to teach yourself a lot of different things. I imagine that you're probably somebody who likes to read and maybe travel and experience new things and quite worldly. But more so than even the outer world, your interior world is just absolutely, it is so developed, right? And so I see as you come into this place and we have this kind of animal here, and I said it was a muskrat, maybe it is, but we have this a laborious being, right? Always at work. We know, if you've ever seen rodents, they're always at work. Especially the larger ones that live outside. They're building things. They're getting their food together. They have families to feed. They are always on their little adventures, and most of all, they're staying alive, right? Because they're a prey animal. So they are definitely trying to survive the times every day, right? And so I feel like this is not unlike yourself. You are somebody who is always on the go, always kind of doing something, making sure that you are trying to do something to add to your experience. And hopefully adding to, your resources and establishing a really strong foundation for your domestic life and so on. But I think that more than anything at all, it is about living a life fully for you. And hello, T. Hi, come over here. Come on. You want me to hold you? Yes. Okay. Oops. Oh, now we have to kiss her. Sorry about that. Okay. And so, yes, let's turn the bowl. Oh, we also have a Z right there. We have a Z. So a Z and a 23 today. Now, I do think this is the entrance or the figure of a domicile or a home, right? So your home. I feel like there's a strong pull towards wanting to be at home a lot lately. And I just think that it hasn't worked out that way. I think that you have had a lot going on, and probably you've been out there in the wilds, and there is a feeling of really just wanting to be with the family. Now I see a person here holding a baby. This could be that you have children or grandchildren, or there are children in your life in some capacity. And I think more than that, it just is a sense of togetherness. Now there's an animal here and another person over here, maybe another child there. But I feel like there is this real pull towards wanting to be in a configuration of family. If that means that you have children or not, grandchildren or not, I feel like this is a time where you want to be with the people who are important to you. But you've been pulled away from the home quite a bit. I don't know, maybe you've been traveling or, work. You're going to fall. You almost fell right backwards there, girl. Or you have been traveling, or maybe working a lot of extra hours, or something. Maybe have had to go stay with excuse me, family, or a family member to take care of them. Got a little dry in my throat there. And so I feel like there's this sense of wanting to get yourself back home. Now we have a deer right here, and so this is a most sacred deer, right? It is I would say a very spiritual happening when we have the symbols of the deer showing up, when they show up in our dreams, when we are blessed with their presence in our backyards, or hopefully not in the garden or the flowers, although that happens. But I do think that there will be some kind of verification of this sacred deer showing up somewhere. You might see one while you're driving, or like I said, in the backyard, or some kind of symbolic picture, or a figurine, or something like this. But I do think that is kind of a marker for something that you need to look at, right? A pattern that is emerging, and something for you to kind of follow. This is a little bit of a breadcrumb, I would say, or a bit of a shiny, right? A little bit of a shiny in your little world there. Okay, honey, you gotta go. Go find Daddy. He's in bed. Okay, and now we'll look at this one. We have this beautiful, and this reminds me very much of our Princess of Discs. We have a large figure here, the head, the arm kind of up, wearing a robe of some kind. You can see not unlike the figure here. And so, I feel like you are in a place where you're very close to the earth. You are feeling very much in the earth. I can imagine tunneling down into your little nest, into that beautiful little warm cave that you have all for yourself. And, having your little candle and your little book, and kind of cuddled up in your blanket, and reading away before you go to sleep for the long slumber, right? The little hibernation, I should say. And then the sun starts to rise a little bit earlier, and the birds are coming out, and they're singing a little bit louder. The squirrels are starting to get a little twitter-pated, and yeah, all of a sudden the grass is starting to get greener, and the trees have little buds on them, and this beautiful Persephone-like archetype is emerging, and so shall you, right? Your winter is about over. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, reverse it. Reverse the record, hopefully you are emerging from the hot days, right? I'm sure that you're inside more often than not when it is so very hot, and hopefully it's beginning to cool down some, and you can get out there and be outside more often. But for us here in the northern hemisphere, it's still pretty cold in most places, or we're still a little off from spring. But there are the stirrings. There are the stirrings. So when I see this figure, I immediately thought of, okay, it's time to start decluttering some things. This is the energy of the spring. We do the spring cleaning. We start to make room for things in our life. We get rid of those old things that do not serve us well. Did you just toot? I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you out, but my goodness, that was a big one there, girl. So you've been eating somebody's food, I think. Methinks. TT thought she's she's trying to lick my face. I think because I called her out. It's all right. Everybody toots sometimes, right? So anyways, so we have this this energy, cleaning things out, making room in our lives. It just, I don't know about you, but the first day that it is over 35 degrees, because where I live, it's quite cold, but the windows are open all through the house. I'm cleaning the floors, cleaning the walls, cleaning out the closets. Whatever I can part with, I shall. I really am like one of those, I'm very affected by the change of seasons. And so, I feel like this is a beautiful image for that. So, if you are somebody who, finds it difficult to kind of go through things and clean things out, start with one drawer. Do one drawer every couple days, right? Just begin with that. Do one little corner. I used to live with somebody who was kind of, on the verge of, I would call maybe like a bit of like hoarding, right? And I feel like I was always trying to keep up with not letting the house get too overran. And so I have gotten into this mode for, since I was in my mid-20s, where when things start to get a little much, or even when I'm doing regular decluttering, you just start in one corner of the room and you work your way around. Don't skip around, one pile to the other pile, and, you end up moving things from one area to the other, and then it just, you give up, right? So just start cleaning in one corner. Take out what you can, and, stop. Stop licking me. And then, and keep up the momentum if you can. If it becomes overwhelming, give yourself a break. But I think it's important to follow that inspiration. When it strikes, do something about it. Don't waste that energy, and donate what you can, or recycle it, of course. And I don't know. I'm thinking about these things a lot because I'm moving, decluttering, donating lots of things and such. Thankfully, we have babies in the family, and a baby coming soon, which I'm so excited about. So, and they're all girls. So it's an era of girls. So my daughter's older things are going to other family, and it's so fun. It's just, now I understand why so many people were trying to give me stuff when I was pregnant. Like, I get it now. Okay, so we have a serpent here. We have our little serpent. We have our little bird. We have our little moon. So I feel like we have the moon and we have the sun right here. Moon, sun. Let's get it closer if I can. Moon, sun. We have the serpent right here, and we have a bird in the middle. So I feel like there the serpent's head is pointed towards the moon, but it's in this very balanced. It's a very kind of equal down the middle there. So I feel like this is a time where you are walking in the night side, you are thriving in the day side and able to do both. And what do I mean by the night side? The night side I would attribute more towards like our interior worlds, high strangeness, spiritual activity, psychic activity, things that you would imagine happening in the cover of night or within the mysteries. Okay, so I think this is a time where there's a lot of kind of spiritual revelation coming through. I think that you're probably having like visions, dreams, kind of just these intense moments of synchronicity. And I think that's the big thing. It's synchronicity here. Seeing patterns and repeating symbols and things like this. Now, in the day side, everything is illuminated, so it is clear to see. In the night, it casts a shadow. Things are kind of hidden. So I also see that you are taking this information, but you are looking at it from a place of logical thinking as well. You're not just operating on the emotions and the fear or, a rising paranoia or anything like that, which we can do when we're fully in that night side place. I think that you are processing the information that's coming through and you're looking at it from a lot of perspectives. And so we do have that intense serpent energy, which is to transmute the knowledge into wisdom through fire. Okay. And so I think that this is a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time for you to be following the kind of, gifts that the universe is giving you. Hopefully taking note of some of those things. Maybe writing down if you like to write or journal or keep a list of things that you are seeing or your impressions, dreams that are coming through, any kind of communications from the divine, and keeping that in a list. And then also going and looking into some of it, maybe researching some of the things that you are experiencing or for me, there's so many times I'll have dreams, I'll think or dream of words or, I'll see something and I don't know exactly what it is and I'll write it down kind of to describe to myself. And then when I'm in my fully awake mode of the day and I have a minute, I'll, get on the internets and kind of go searching for something. What came to mind for me was years ago, I was having these kind of visitations from 3 distinct entities, intelligences that I would kind of have waking in between dreaming and waking up, the hypnagogic state. And I would see them in the corner standing there, right? And it wasn't really like shadow people. I know you can have that when you're having that kind of old hag syndrome or whatever. But this was these 3 beings, and there was one that really stood out to me. And I won't go too deeply into the features of this, but one of the 3 had these horns that I had never seen anything like it. It absolutely was strange. It almost looked like antennae, like from an insect, but it was right in the middle, like a kind of a V in the middle. But they were a little bit curled. And so anyways, over the years, I thought, what was this, and it was red. It was also red. I always called it the red one, Alhambra. And anyways, I one day in my researching something else, found a picture of Poseidon, a sculpture of Poseidon, that looked exactly like this being I had seen. And suddenly it was like this veil had been lifted. And I had experienced something in this vein of, now maybe not Poseidon exactly, but something akin to it. And it opened up a whole can of worms for me. And so I feel like in this way, there's kind of a, there's a turning for you. There's a turning point coming. And I see that you're very in tune. You're very in tune with the gifts of the universe. They are speaking to you. And that bird really confirms to me that the messages are being received. Okay? The birds come and they bring us our messages, don't they? And so, what will you do with all of this? That's what I am interested in knowing. What will you make of it all? Okay, so let's look at the Divine Doors Oracle cards. We'll see what these doors have to say tonight. I'm going to stop where it feels right. We'll just go ahead and flip through and let's take a look. It's pretty. It looks like the outer porch of a temple, which is kind of the open section of the outer side of a temple. And so it says, patience. Everything will soon, or patience, everything soon will come to light. And then you will see things will be all right. Yeah, that unveiling, huh? Just, I can imagine you taking these things from that night side, out of that dark courtyard, right? Dragging it in, dragging it into the light. Yes. Let's see what is there. And everything will be all right. It's all going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. It always does, and it always will, no matter what you think of that. No matter what I think of that, no matter what any of us think of that, it just is what it is, what it is. All right, TT, let's say goodnight. Let's wrap this one up, huh? Okay, Leo, I want to tell you I love you, I love you, I love you, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me and with TT here. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean so much to me. If you'd like to leave some praise for TT, I will let her know. And what else? No, I think that's it. So I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in just a few days. Good night. Goodbye. And see you later.